Yay, we're back. Yay, thank you guys for your patience. I apologize. My name is Anthony Walker here for this special Roadblock review. Apologies for the little bit of delay there, as you were seeing there, guys. I had a bit of audio issues there. I deeply apologize for that. I will definitely get that sorted out the minute this is done in terms of editing and that. But thank you for your patience, guys. And thank you, whoever's tuned in. Thank you for your patience. I really do apologize for that. I don't know why it went like that. Yeah, that's just the best I could do, basically. I don't know why it went like that. If there was any issues there, I deeply, truly apologize for that. Like I said, that's never happened before, so that's a first for me. But anyway, Roadblock 2016, the final stop to WrestleMania. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Now, if I sat here and told you that I did enjoy it, I would probably be lying to you, because yes, it was okay. Okay, it wasn't awful. It wasn't a pile of shit. I told you that. But there were some booking decisions that were like, oh my fucking god, you know. I mean, they built up the hype for this network live event, whatever the fuck you want to call it. They built it up, and then they ruined it. You know, they absolutely ruined it. And I'll give you some examples of that, and I'll give you the examples later on. But first, let's kick off the show with New Day versus Sheamus and Wade Barrett. First of all, who the hell gave Sheamus and Wade Barrett a tag team title match? Oh, I thought that was a good idea. Nonetheless, Sheamus and Wade Barrett had no business being involved in a tag team match, in my view. But yeah, it was good. But obviously, it was a little bit predictable towards the end, because we all knew Xavier Woods was going to get involved and help New Day become the tag team champion or retain their belts. Sheamus and I knew Wade Barrett and Sheamus wouldn't go away, first of all, because it's a live event and it's a big show, even though this was a big show on the network. But we all know Wade Barrett is leaving. So if they put the tag belts on him and his contract runs out, they basically wasted their time, because he'd be handing the belt back, or they'd be handing it over. If they made Sheamus and Alberto Del Rio, they might have had a chance. But if you see Wade Barrett in any match, you know he ain't going over. Not that he ever went over anyway. You know, King of the Ring didn't do him any good. But yeah, New Day move on to WrestleMania, and looks like they'll be going into WrestleMania as tag team champions. Question is, who will they face? I really don't know on that one. Next match after that was Y2J versus Jack Swagger. Now, this was a good match, but we all knew at the end Y2J was going to beat Jack Swagger. You know, that was a little bit predictable for me, because Y2J, who's now the heel Y2J, after what happened with him and AJ and Styles and everything, but he's gone back to being a heel. And Jack Swagger, what the fuck has Jack Swagger done lately? Exactly. Nothing. He's done jack shit. And you know, it's just the simple way of knowing. I mean, what can Jericho do now at WrestleMania? You know, will him and Styles have a match at WrestleMania? You know? I'd like to see, even though we saw the 3 matches, you know, the match on Raw, the match on SmackDown, and then the match at Fastlane, I don't know. Would that work at WrestleMania, Styles and Y2J again? Obviously, Y2J has some bitterness. You know, the way this is going, he has some bitterness towards AJ Styles, because people cheer AJ Styles, especially when they did in Chicago. You know, they were booing him out the building. So, you know, I don't know. It's an interesting dynamic on that one, but I have heard that AJ Styles is going to be in the Battle Royal. That's just what I've heard. It hasn't been confirmed. You know, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. No doubt that'll probably be on the pre-show. But yeah, I mean, I don't know where that's going to go with him and AJ Styles. Are they going to have another match? Obviously, it won't be him and Kevin Owens, even though people want to see Kevin Owens and AJ Styles. But I don't think, like I've said, and I've spoken to many people as well, and appeared on many podcasts. You have to understand as well, this is AJ Styles and Kevin Owens' first WrestleMania. I don't think none of them want to lose their first WrestleMania. Mad you saying that Sting lost his first WrestleMania. Less said about that, the better. NXT Tag Team Titles, Dash and Dawson, who are a fucking awesome team. Oh, these two are incredible. But this is pissing me off because you've got Dash and Dawson versus Enzo and Big Cass. And I'm begging WWE, NXT, whoever's in charge, if you're going to put the tag belts on Enzo and Cass, fucking do it already. And I'm sorry to swear or anything like that, guys, but this is really getting on my nerves. Like I've said to many people on many podcasts, these two are the most over tag team. I'm talking about Enzo and Cass, and Carmella too. But Enzo and Cass are the most over tag team in NXT. Surely they deserve a shot at the tag team or to settle run with the NXT Tag Team Titles. Surely. I mean, it's really frustrating to see such a good team. I mean, they're an awesome team. I never got to the first, the whole you can't teach that thing. I never got to the first. But I swear to you, hanging out with Enzo and Cass, would be like, would I be on that episode of Friends? How you doing? All that stuff, man. It'd be like being on an episode of Friends. It'd be just fucking cool. I mean, Cass is a big dude. And Enzo is just Enzo. They're a fun tag team. I hope when they get on the roster, the main roster, that is, mind you saying that they'll be best stuff in NXT considering what's happening on the main roster. But anyway, I hope they get what they deserve. I hope they get their run. I hope they'll get, good things. But like I said, that's wishful thinking. Because at the moment right now, the main roster. But yeah. And Charlotte versus Natalya. Anyway, Dash and Dawson ended up retaining. And it's very frustrating to see Enzo and Cass not get a tag team title in WWE. And quite frankly, it's really fucking frustrating me as a fan to see a great team not get what they deserve. And I'm not talking about Dash and Dawson, I'm talking about Enzo and Cass. Charlotte versus Natalya. Charlotte, who made, not Charlotte, Natalya, who made Charlotte, by the way. We'll go back to their NXT match they had when Charlotte won the NXT title. And Charlotte retains using the ropes and help from Daddy. I got told this was a Divas title, and then it wasn't the Divas title match. And then obviously we found out it was a Divas title match. Again, predictable, because Charlotte's going to go into a triple threat match at WrestleMania. It's I don't know. I don't know where this Divas division is going, but it was a good match between the two. I mean, these two have had good matches before. Like I say, go back to their NXT title match they had when Charlotte won the NXT title after Paige dropped it due to her winning the Divas title. But what it was, like I say, it was a great match. But what frustrates me about Charlotte is the fact that she has to. It's not the fact that she's a heel. It's the fact that she has to have help from Daddy. And it's making her look bad. When Charlotte won the Divas title, it was a good thing. It was an incredible thing. It was an incredible, yay, she's won the Divas title. Now it's a clusterfuck. Because it's got to the point right now where if she had to be a heel, let her be a heel on her own. Don't have Daddy trying to feed off her spotlight. And I love me some Ric Flair, but there's so much that they can do with Ric Flair better. and having her hanging around Charlotte. I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing, you know, dad helping out daughter, but it's just the way it's being booked. I don't like it one bit. But anyway, change, and she goes on to WrestleMania to face Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks. Will they throw a wrench in? Nah, I doubt it. But like I say, you never know with WWE. You never know with their WrestleMania, when it's WrestleMania season. Anyway. Now, a disappointment for me. Brock Lesnar, Bray Wyatt. It wasn't Brock Lesnar, Bray Wyatt as advertised. It turned out to be Brock Lesnar versus Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper. But it was mainly Brock Lesnar versus Luke Harper. Because Brock Lesnar just totally takes Luke Harper to Suplex City and just flattens him, and then Bray eventually escapes. Not that he did anything anyway, because he was out the ring. He was playing the role of Luke Harper's manager, you know, as Paul Heyman was there with Brock Lesnar, watching Luke Harper get taken to Suplex City, and then when the match is over, him and Brock Lesnar stare down each other, and you know, the rest is history. But he walks away, and there was no match, which was very, very disappointing. And then after that, on Twitter, I tweeted, "Please WWE put Brock Lesnar, or make Brock Lesnar versus Bray Wyatt versus Dean Ambrose." Now, I don't have a problem with Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. More on Dean Ambrose later on, but I don't have a problem with that. My problem is, where does that leave Bray? Because I've said this on the podcast as well, coming up this week, coming out tomorrow, so or tonight as this is going out. So be sure to check them out. It's, you know, if there's anybody, I mean, you build these Wyatt family up, and then when it comes to the pay-per-view, they can't win a match, especially Bray. I mean, like I said, I swear it's like when they build the Wyatt family up, Bray in particular, they build them up, build them up, build them up, build them up. And I swear Vince McMahon's underneath Bray Wyatt going, no, get your ass back down here now. You know, it's frustrating. I mean, granted, the Wyatt family should never split up in the first place. You know, they should never have split up in the first place. And they obviously saw that and brought them back together. But if you're going to book them the way you're booking them now, WWE, why did you put them back together in the first place? You're just making them look stupid. You know, and people are always asking, is Bray Wyatt going to get a WWE title shot? No. Or WWE run? No. Because he hasn't won a match on pay-per-view in God knows how long. At least to my knowledge, anyway. And he hasn't won. I mean, when I'm talking about this, I think I'm talking about mainly a singles match. Because he gets built up and built up, just the same as the Wyatt family. I mean, it's not just now, and it was back in the day. I mean, they used to build up Eric Rowan and Luke Harper when they were, you know, and Eric Rowan and Luke Harper were the NXT Tag Team Champions. They build them up on the main roster to the point where they're the #1 contenders for the WWE Tag Team Titles, but they never pulled the trigger. It's kind of the same, you know, deja vu all over again, and it's really frustrating because Bray's good. He's in terms of promos, he's the best in WWE, but you can't take him seriously as a, you know, as a competitor in the ring. That's just my knowledge on that. Right, what's next? You want to take him seriously, don't get me wrong, by the way, but, you know, it is. But, you know, a match that I was looking forward to, ruined, quite frankly. Excuse the cough, guys. Hope you guys are enjoying this. Marlon Torres, thank you for dropping by the stream and leaving a comment. I don't understand you, but thank you anyway. Cube Madre, I don't say I speak English, mate, so thanks for dropping by anyway. Going on to Sami Zayn. Nothing wrong with Sami Zayn coming back and wrestling because it was in Toronto, it was in Canada. You knew it was coming, so you had to get the hometown-ish boy in there. So, you know, there was nothing wrong with that. And Stardust, though. Couldn't you have picked a better opponent, WWE? mean, granted, Stardust hasn't really done that much now. He's just putting people over. But I would have given them a better opponent. We all know it's going to be a warm-up match for him and Kevin Owens because he's already challenged Kevin Owens to an Intercontinental Championship match at WrestleMania. He says he wants an Intercontinental title shot, so it's going to be Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn at WrestleMania, which is, oh boy. And think about this, guys. Indies, Ring of Honor, NXT, WWE. The feud has gone through them three. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, you know, El Generico back in Ring of Honor, Kevin Steen in Ring of Honor, NXT, and then the main roster as well. Why? Because the feud, you know, this rivalry is money. There's no question about it. There's no ways of putting that. This rivalry is money. Whether you like it or not, it is money. As for the match against Sami Zayn, don't get me wrong, Stardust is a great wrestler, but I prefer him as Cody Rhodes. Now, the Stardust thing was good for the brief time being, and it was gold. It was WWE gold. But now it's got to the point where I want him back as Cody Rhodes. You know, it's had its run, it's had its moment. Let's bring him back as Cody Rhodes. You know, let's get him back in there as Cody Rhodes then. That's for me. But we all knew Sami Zayn was gonna win, which he did. And for all I know, it was a good match for Sami Zayn. And Sami got the victory. What's next for Sami? Like I said, WrestleMania and Kevin Owens. That was a warm-up match for him and and Kevin Owens. For him going into WrestleMania is what I'm trying to say. I can't really speak tonight now. I'm so tired. I've been doing podcasts all day and work this morning as well. 10 a.m. my time as well with the training thing I have to do at work, my other job. And for the main event, and once again, WWE make Dean Ambrose look like a complete idiot. And I'll tell you why. There was a spot in the match. This was an epic match, by the way. Credit to both men. This was a very good match. Hard-fought, back-and-forth match. And there was times in the match that you thought Dean Ambrose was going to beat Triple H. And at one point, we thought he did, because he hit Dirty Deeds. A little spoilery if you haven't seen it. He hit Dirty Deeds, and he got the cover, and he got the 1, 2, 3. But the referee saw Dean Ambrose's feet under the bottom ropes. I don't think that's ever happened before. So it's that's not the issue. It's just a case of WWE making, Dean Ambrose reach the brass ring, so to speak, the belt, and then they pull it away from him, kind of thing. He becomes WWE champion, and he just goes, "Nope, you're not being champion," which is complete and utter bullshit. I don't like that. I didn't like the end. I didn't like that part of the match. The rest of it was great because it was a hard-fought match. Dean Ambrose really took it to Triple H. And Triple H dished his punishment out too, no doubt. But, it's that moment where WWE is making the fans think, you get to that point where, holy shit, Dean Ambrose has pulled the trigger on Dean Ambrose. He's the WWE World Champion. And then when they make you think that, they pull it away. A lot of people did not like that. I can promise you now. The WWE fans probably did not like that. I was watching What Culture's live stream while I was preparing for this live stream and watching Roadblock. A lot of people didn't like that because people want to see Dean Ambrose be WWE World Heavyweight Champion, and I'm one of them. WWE needs to pull the trigger on Dean Ambrose and do it quick. But we all knew eventually that Triple H was going to win because, guys, whether we like this or not, me personally, I probably don't like it, but John Cena, aka Roman Reigns, this whole situation where Triple H becomes champion, this was all built and designed to put Reigns over, and I use that term loosely, at WrestleMania. Well, it's like I said on Max Wrestling's podcast, or like somebody said on the podcast, what they're doing with Roman Reigns is not working. They're trying to push him to become a babyface. It is not working. And all right, this probably didn't work well before that. You know, there was a Royal Rumble where he won the Royal Rumble. When he won the Royal Rumble match after getting help from The Rock. But this goes back to Survivor Series last year. He beats Dean Ambrose in the tournament, and then Sheamus cashes it in and wins the title. They started booing him, and they played, and I discussed this on my podcast as well, they played his music to drown out the boos, WWE. And if you don't believe me, go find it. Botchamania had it. And hell, I even mentioned this on my podcast as well. I'll put the link in the description of that podcast. It was called WWE Trying to Force Fans, WWE fans, to cheer Roman Reigns. It's Botchamania. The Botchamania thing is in there as well. And then it led on to that, and then eventually he ended up winning the title after TLC. But people saw something good in Roman Reigns when he was in the Shield. But now they broke away from the Shield. Dean Ambrose went on to have huge success and still is having success today, even though he's going in weird directions. Seth Rollins became the star of that group. There's no question about that. You know, in terms of heel, in terms of the run he had as WWE champion. And then there was Roman Reigns. And while them two were away doing their thing, Vince McMahon grabbed out of Roman Reigns and said, "Yeah, come here. I'm going to make you John Cena 2.0." And he's built Roman Reigns ever since to be John Cena's replacement. And that's why people don't like it, and it sucks. Because if he left him or built him as just coming out of the Shield and using that Shield persona, he'd be fine. You know, people wouldn't boo him. But it's the fact that they're making him into John Cena 2.0 is why he's getting booed out of the building. And people don't want that. People don't like that. And all right, there's some people out there that probably can't stand Roman Reigns full stop. But Roman Reigns had potential. When WWE when Vince McMahon in particular grabbed out of him and made him into John Cena 2.0, that's his downfall. You know, because people don't want to see, you know, the Hulk Hogan of the 80s or that. I mean, like I said before, if John Cena stayed as the rapper, he'd be fine. But like I say, it's the booking of the WWE, and not only that, PG era. Even though WWE is supposed to be edgy at least until WrestleMania, that's what I've been told. And there was a glimpse of that as well, because tonight in that main event, because at one point, Dean Ambrose jumped off the rope, jumped off the turnbuckle on the outside, hit Triple H, and then Triple H is laid out on the floor, and Dean Ambrose is laid out on the floor. Triple H and Dean Ambrose starts doing this. You know, the DX shot, which I thought was hilarious. Sorry if that looked wrong, but that was just me demonstrating what happened. But yeah, all in all, if I was going to rate this out of 10, I would give it a 5. And a 2.5 out of 5 as well, if I was rating it out of 5. You know, it was just, there was no, you know, shocking moments there. It was okay, but it wasn't amazing for me. That was just me. Many people have their disagreements or have their opinions as well, but that was just me. It didn't work for me. That's just my opinion. Anyway, guys, that's about it for this special live stream that I did. Sorry for the delay coming in, because having audio problems as well. I don't know why that did that. That was the first time that's ever happened. But maybe because of the updates I had, because I got updates on my laptop. And that ruined it. I don't know. But everything's back working again. And I have to really get used to this Google Hangouts thing in terms of their settings and everything. But I'll get the hang of it as well. I'll be back Tuesday. Hopefully Tuesday after Raw to do another live stream and review Raw. If not, I'll do it on the afternoon UK time. Again, as well, if it can be best. I have been so tired today. Like I said, I've been doing podcasts all week. But look out for it this week. Look out for my Raw review this week. It's coming this week. That I can guarantee you. When will it be after Raw? Will it be the next day? I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. But look out for it anyway. It depends what I feel like. Because like I said, I'm so tired. I've been doing podcasts all day. I've been busy non-stop all day today. And it's really not tired me out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed Roadblock. When this goes out on YouTube, if you have any comments, drop them in the comments below. Subscribe to this channel, AJW Wrestling Matters, for more, great wrestling content and my reviews on professional wrestling industry, not just WWE as well. I'll probably do some ICW, Progress Wrestling. Also, don't forget the weekly podcasts. This coming Monday, 9 o'clock UK time, 4 p.m. Eastern time, will be episode 102 of the Wrestling Matters podcast. That's right. Be sure to check that out as well. And until next time, guys, my name is Anthony Walker. Check out Max Wrestling as well. Like I say, I co-host that as well. That'll be up tomorrow or tonight. This is going out early hours of Sunday morning. And like I say, guys, until next time, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking this out. And I'll see you guys very soon. Peace out.